Hey, this is Pastor Michael Yuricha, and I want to invite you to hit that like and subscribe button and drop us a comment if you will. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you receive all of our updates. God bless you. Come on, let's get to the Word. So in this passage, God is giving Moses a formula for worship, if you will. There are 4 required ingredients mentioned in this passage. This formula or this recipe for worship, the first fragrant spice that God required Moses is gum. It's called gum or stacked in the King James Version. This is also known to the Jews as the balm of Gilead, or it's also known as myrrh. It is native to the area of Jordan and also Ethiopia and Yemen. The second spice is onycha. This spice was produced from the trees that grew in Arabia. It is also a very common perfume from India, from the nation of India. Thirdly is galbanum, and this is from the plants that grew in Syria, Persia, and Africa. Lastly is frankincense. It is taken from the trees in southern Arabia and Somalia. Please take note that none of these spices that were required were native in Israel. So, Pastor, why the study in geographical agronomy? Here's why. These 4 spices that God required Moses to use for incense, for worship, all had to be imported from foreign lands. Thus, there would be a great cost involved in all of these fragrances. Now, just like today, if you wanted to import a luxury piece of furniture from Europe or Asia or South America, the cost would be dramatically higher. And remember, in that day, cargo traveled by camel, so products from northern Africa, Iran, India, and the Arabian Peninsula would take weeks to get there and maybe months in driving up the cost of these ingredients for worship. How many of you know they didn't have Amazon.com back in that day? UPS still didn't exist, right? No overnight services. So these spices, these ointments were so valuable that people would use them as commodities, as a way of investment or a way of building a savings account. You remember the ointment in the alabaster jar, and we're going to look at that in Mark chapter 14 in a little bit. The ointment in the alabaster jar, the Bible says, was worth a year's wage. So perfumes, fragrances, ointments were treated much like we treat precious metals or even precious stones today. People would put them today in a safety deposit box, and it would increase in value. It was a way of saving. There is always, Judah, there is always a great cost for true worship. God requires it in this passage, and in 2 Samuel chapter 24, you could read the story later. David wanted to prepare a place to build an altar and offer a sacrifice unto God and a place to worship him. Araunah, who owned the property, he recognized David because, the Bible says that, Saul slayed the thousands, but David the 10,000. So David in that day would have been a household name. He knew David, and David wanted to prepare a place to build an altar and sacrifice and worship God. And when Araunah recognized him, he offered to give the threshing floor to David for free. But David replied, I will surely buy it off of thee for a price. Neither will I offer burnt offerings unto the Lord my God of that which doth cost me nothing. In other words, David is saying that I will not worship my God on the cheap. I'm not looking for the BOGO. For those who don't shop, buy one, get one free. Y'all got it, right? David wasn't looking for the blue light special. He wasn't looking for the sale sign. He was saying, I'm not waiting for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. David is saying, listen, I will pay full price, extra if I have to. I will not worship God with that which cost me nothing. Let me just pull this into today's society. I'm not looking to get in and out of church as quickly as I can so I can pay my religious duty. I'm not looking for ways to get out of church. I'm looking for ways to get into the church. Come on, somebody. I'm not hoping that the praise team doesn't sing too many songs. I'm hoping the worship will never end. David is saying, surely if God cared enough to send his very best, surely I could give my very best. Listen, saints of God, we need to stop half-stepping with God, half-stepping with our service unto God, half-stepping with our finances, our study time, our praying. We need to stop half-stepping with our worship. It's time to get all in. Come on, somebody. Bless the Lord. Come on, we read it in the opening. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, and come on, help me. And all that is within me. Bless his holy name.
To every nation, to every generation, to all creation, to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. To every nation, every generation, to all creation, to proclaim the gospel of Jesus.